Somehow, recording in bed has become one of my signature things to do, but recently, as you guys might have seen from my uploading schedule, I've been taking a lot of time off, and I'm starting to practice being okay with not doing work and still respecting myself as a person, still liking myself as a person, even without doing any work. Because I feel like a lot of the times I need to do a lot of things to prove to myself that I'm worth, in general. I do things to prove my worthiness and self respect, and I just don't think that it's a super healthy cycle. At the same time, because I quote unquote locked in, and to me that just means that like being in my room and doing work, I've been doing that for so long for the entire summer. Just wanted to take a little break at the end because things start to get really repetitive, and I feel like all of my thinking and all of my like memories just fused into one thing of me being in my room instead of having separation day to day. I don't know if you guys know what this means, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but at some point I think it became a little bit unhealthy for me to continue doing it. And I think of my lifestyle as these two time periods, and one of them is locking in, where I try to just do as much work as possible, where I spend a lot of time alone, say no to a lot of things, and just try to be as quote unquote stoic as possible. And this other time period of discovery is when I'm always out there trying to fuck around and find out, making all these friends, new connections, being interested in what other people are talking about, and exposing myself to different opportunities and different things. So I think that these cycles always come and go in waves, and I've spoken to a lot of friends who have like similar work habits or life habits, and it's been working out for me at least. I locked in quite a bit for the summer, and I think it's the very, very first time where I had zero distractions because I did not have college and I wasn't living with my parents. So I was fully independent in a way that like I could do whatever I tell myself to do, and I had all the time to myself to work on things that are important. And I also just had the choice to say no to whatever I didn't want to do. That time period was very challenging, but it was so worth it to go through it and come out from the other side knowing that I've kind of like finished this lock-in in a way, and now I just want to have some more time to myself, do some more fun things, enjoy life, spend time with people, and do things outside of do things outside of work. I am also not in San Francisco anymore. I am in Boston, and in a few days I'll be going to Ohio. So also traveling around a little bit kind of like freshens things up a lot for me. And I am just working on being okay with not doing work and also not feeling guilt, because a lot of the times when I'm not doing important and urgent things, I feel like I'm wasting my time. For example, like sometimes I would just be cooking and I feel like cooking is a waste of time. I'd be going to the gym, and at some point I'd start telling myself, oh, you don't need to go to the gym because that's also like taking time away from what's important. And I don't think that's a healthy mindset to have, which is why like little by little I am starting to have less guilt when I just take some time off and enjoy life. And I think I prefer to work to live instead of live to work. But also, I'm working to the point where work is as fun as just, having fun. So it doesn't even feel like work. I'm still getting there. And I think for me, I just need to like work up to that point because it's not something that just comes naturally to me, since I am kind of a generalist and I find a lot of things kind of fun, but not fun enough to obsess over it. Oh yeah, I got a wart treatment recently, which is why there's like a little scar here. The clinic wasn't super good with the equipment they had, which is why there's a really big scar. They used to be smaller. And school is starting again in a month, and I am already getting birthday anxiety. I don't know why a lot of people like don't really panic when their birthday comes, and I'm really trying to see that perspective, because every single time I just want to like think back to the entire year that I just had, and it just makes me feel like a failure. It makes me feel like I didn't do anything, and somehow like I forget about all the accomplishments I've had or all the trial and errors that I've done and all the effort that I put in. And instead, like, every time when it's close to my birthday, I simply just feel like I am unaccomplished and I am getting nowhere in life. I'm getting to nowhere in life. And also, the older you are, the more responsibility that you have. So now, like, especially because I'm turning 20, I think in your 20s now, your exceptional achievements are now just seen as the expectations. And it's harder to, in my opinion, like, it's a limiting belief, but I feel like it's harder to have other people respect you when you do the work, because now they're like, oh, yeah, you're 20 something, you should be doing all these things. Yeah, you should have the ambition. Yeah, you should be working as hard as you could. Yeah, you should be going the extra mile. And I spoke to my friend about this. She said that it's only a thing in like the tech startup space, because anywhere outside of that, it's just so normal to be in your 20s, 30s, 40s. Age doesn't really matter. But in like the startup space that I'm in, especially in SF, I feel like there's such like a huge threshold between being 18 or 19 or being 20. And I was just anxious about that. You're also never ready for anything in life. That's one thing that I learned. And it also applies to birthday. You're never ready to turn an age, which is why like it just happens naturally. But also like even things that you have a choice to make it happen sooner or later, you want to do it when you're almost ready. And that just means that you have this internal scale of how ready you are. And if it's over like 65%, then you should totally take that leap of faith and totally go for it. That's something that I read from this book called The Startup of You. I keep on telling myself that I want to read more. I don't think realistically it's gonna become like my top or one of my top priorities, because I've been telling myself the same thing for the past 3 years or so, or 4 or more, and it's never happened. But I am starting to like incorporate reading books into my daily life again, instead of treating it as another task that I have to complete, because there's only like so much discipline I can use with any sort of stuff that I do, and I just need to have the rest of the habits that I want to build become a no-brainer thing, such as working out. Like, of course you should go work out, and if I don't go and work out, I feel weird. It's the same thing as eating and sleeping. I want my hobbies and habits that I want to foster to get to that point. So that's why I'm taking this easy and just reading whenever I want to, making sure that even when I'm not reading, I'm still, I guess, like maintaining that intention to read. And if I see books in my room and if I'm like, I haven't read in the past week, then yeah, I'll sit down and read. But yeah, I am spending a lot of time off. And it's just hard to believe that I think I've been really consistent with this channel for the past 6 months, or the end of last November. And the more, because I was really consistent from the beginning, now kind of slacking off guilt trips myself even more into thinking that I am literally just voluntarily not progressing and I will be, left in the ditch in life very soon after I have no future, blah blah blah. But again, it's just a few weeks and I don't think it's that deep. It's not that serious, but I just need to combine I can't speak. I just need to convince my mind that that is the truth. So yeah, thanks for watching this unfiltered video, and I'll see you guys soon.